Hey guys, welcome back. Marius here, and today we have IXION Ultimate Guide with 30 tips and tricks. So I'll guide you through and show you everything you need to know how this game is actually easy, simple, and not any balance or whatsoever is required, despite the fact everyone is crying on Steam. So I'll teach you how to get good at this game, all right? So I'm jumping right on this game. There will be 3 stages I will show. This is absolutely the beginning, and of course in timestamps there will be every single one of those tips that show up here in the screen. You see on the screen. First step is, as soon as possible, your main goal is to unlock tier 3. Tier 3 is in science tree, as you can see. That's why I'm showing you. To unlock tier 3, you basically go through them. You need to unlock every node, because in those nodes you can upgrade. But for example, here, those 3 research, whenever I'm done, I can get to the next tier, then again everyone in this tier, and so on. So this is the first thing you need to rush through. Don't spend any time on upgrades, but there is one exception, of course. This is to maximize science. This goes together with the first step. Science are 2 nodes, Tech Lab and Science Ships. You want to get upgrades that improve science. For ships, this is science guaranteed generated during exploration is increased by 5%, 10%, and 15%. As you can see, every single one of these require tier 3 technology. This is why we rush to tier 3. Every one of them required. There are also other requirements. Check them out, just complete them to get this one. This is the main goal of the game. And there is one exception for Tech Lab. The first upgrade you can get already when you unlock only tier 2. So basically the unlocking goes like this: tier 1, tier 2, pick this upgrade, and then switch back to proceeding to tier 3. Once you get tier 3, then get every single next update. So basically this Tech Lab and Science Ship must be upgraded as soon as possible. Once that's done, then you can proceed basically and pursue other things in the game, which I am proceeding and show you. This is third tip is invest in most of the quests. This goes together with the previous point. As you can see, these are the quests. So how to explain? There's a lot of variations. Whenever you approach one of them, any of them, there will be choices. And the kind of main rule is the more investment it requires, the more better outcome it will be. For example, you can land and scan right away. It will give you, let's say, 60 science points. But if you build a scanning station, whatever, that requires a little bit alloy time and all that, you will get 90. So to maximize the output, because there's a limited amount of these quests, so you want to get best outcomes. And there's a little bit asterisk I need to add. Sometimes there are absolutely stupid outcomes you would never expect, and they're dumb. There is no workaround. Only to find in the internet if you want to spoil yourself, and basically spoilers, what's the outcome, all right? But generally, the general rule makes sense. Like in every gaming, the more you invest, the more outcome it is. I strongly advise to approach like this. That's how you'll get more science. Next, we have the game actually is paused all the time. Sorry, in the background, it doesn't matter. I need to show you things like 9-to-2 layout, what it is. Right from the start, you have one docking bay, or any building that requires outside of the wall. You see the ships are coming in there, and the rule is simple. This building is 9 tiles, like 9 pieces long, and every single one of them are like that. That means if you have this space, if you have this space 9 tiles and don't build any road here, you can place any outside building that's required. the shop, the docking bay, the Everlock, whatever it needed. And on other side, my advice is to reserve 2 spots and then just draw a line with the road. That is reserved for people. Every sector you will need the people, and best house to squeeze them in is the big houses that require also outside wall. So 2 tiles here, 9 tiles here, and I approach that way every single sector. Afterwards, you can make adjustments when it's needed, but otherwise 9-2 layout is the best of the best for the best, right? I need to rush through, otherwise the video will be too long. Point number 5, do not rush sectors. This is simple thing. I basically will switch to the middle, the same game you just saw at the beginning, so I can show you how the research looks like. Now proceeding in the mid of the same game, chapter 2 I think it is. Doesn't matter, you will see the logical progression. If you rush the sectors, there will be a thing whenever you open a new sector. There's a downside, which is hull integrity. When you mouse over, you can see there is 16 from open sectors, and I have 2 of them. If I open another one, it's another -8 and more and more and more. And that's the thing you don't want. If you rush, don't. My advice, this is why I load. You can see 2 sectors is enough basically to unlock every research, every building, everything. In 2 sectors you can squeeze and get everything done just neatly like this. All right, move on. We have point number 6. Quickly touch the point about policies. For policies I have here, oh no I don't, it's all good. You can see, doesn't matter. In one I grow food, and another I have industry sectors and space. They all kind of general rule is like this: have propaganda, give them less food, and enable waste. Those 3 are the main and the only, and actually you can live through the whole story, everything with just those 3 policies. Every other policy is just plain stupid and pointless. Propaganda gives you more stability, that's main thing you want. Reducing the food actually basically cancels it out, simple as that. But it is really essential, otherwise you will need a lot of farms and you will not be able to squeeze every people in those 2 sectors. And the third one is waste, which is most important. Yeah, sorry, it's my text is on front of it, but this is the waste. Most important thing in the game. This is the absolute gem. Right after you pursue your 3rd science tier and unlocks there, why are you doing this? Once you have settled in the science is coming in. Next thing is point number 7, get waste. And yes, this is a joke, pun of mine. Let me show you what we are talking about. Get waste. This is one of the materials you basically need to research, unlock, enable, and process. 3 steps. In the science tab, it looks like first is DLS center. You need it to enable those policies I just mentioned. Once you build this center in a sector, you can enable policies. So that's first step, you need this one. Then afterwards, I just showed you how to enable those policies. That just allows waste to be generated. But next step is to process it through the waste treatment center. This is the second stage. So whenever you start policy with deals center, generate waste, then you process it through this thing. My second advice would be upgrade it as well, but this is the kicker. I'll quickly show you why and how. At this point, when you reach this point through my guide, basically you're done. You can just skip and go and you will succeed in the game. Why? Because currently in those 2 sectors, each of them have this waste treatment center. What it allows is to process my waste into any of those materials I need. At this moment, You don't need any more raw iron, you don't need any mines, you don't need any carbon or any silicon. None of the materials. So basically your mining ships can go idle, just forget about them, because you can create alloy out of the waste that is produced right on your ship. The same for polymer, the same for electronics. Right here, whatever is your, and of course one of the waste treatment centers you need to enable all the time to produce just alloy, because alloy is all the time required to keep your hull integrity. But that's why I have in the second this sector here, I build whatever I need. For example, now I'm short on polymer, let's use polymer, make polymer. That's it. At this moment you are sustainable and you don't need anything else, and basically you can live forever and ever and ever. All right, but I will proceed for the rest of my points. I'll be quick. My next advice would be to pursue this cell housing. Cell housing, this is the house where you save those two tiles, and another one, there's an upgrade to those houses to produce even more waste. So you see now, if I pick up the same, yeah, I can't show, but at the bottom, fully packed, you can squeeze 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 buildings. Not a single piece is wasted, and you, with 7 of these buildings, you have enough for all your sector. That's why in every sector, I basically, the bottom is reserved for living quarters, least space taken, enough people to live where, just perfect. And the upgrade makes one waste in 5 or 10 cycles from 20 people. It doesn't matter what's the numbers, basically you generate more waste. And that is necessarily because you need that waste for your anything, for everything. That's it. That's the full cycle. So that's that. Let's move on. We have point number 9. It's about food. At this point, as I said, chronicle order. It's not chronicle. Chronicle is about diseases. Okay, you get the idea. One after another. Next step would be upgrading food. And food is 2 things. You need only 2 things for food. One is insect farm. I advise to get insect farm. That's required at the beginning to have it fully upgraded. It will be good. But even more important is to upgrade mess hall, because if you check those 2 upgrades, I haven't unlocked yet. Of course, there is a prerequisite, but the goal is here. 1 food can feed 50 more crew members, or even with the second upgrade, 100% more. Basically, double that amount of people you can feed with the same food. Once it's unlocked, food is never a problem anymore. It's simple as that. You can easily, with those 2 upgrades and insect farm, feed all your ship and all the people through full rest of the game. Simple as that. Next, point number 10 is whenever, as I mentioned, you unlock beautiful ability out of thin air, create waste, and from waste create polymer with unlimited amount. My advice is to build, where is it? Let's enable this one. To build those solar panels. As you can see, I have built every single one of them already in this chapter 2. Normally the game probably is not meant like this, but their building require only polymer. You just set them to have it, and that's it. Once you produce enough, you build. Why I'm saying this? The most important part here is not the electricity itself, but lack of space wasted with any other electric station. There's a fusion station that's actually for, it's create water, sorry, but nuclear power, for example, and hydrogen, that's you need stockpiles and all that. Don't need any of that. Just upgrade fully all your polymer, those panels, and you will be done. It will be set and good. Next up, we have fix and keep an eye for transfers. I'll show you how I manage my transfers. This is how you deal with transfers in between your what it's called, sectors. And this is how it should be, how I said it. And I explain quickly. Here is the maximum capacity the alloy can be held, 100, 100, 100. As you can see, I set the goal not fully 100, but 80. What it means why 80 and why 80 is also in here is you can easily keep lose the track where you build what, just it's easier. But what it means, as you can see, I create food in this sector. Whenever they reach 80, that's the requirement. Everything that is surplus 80 is free for grabs if people in sector number 1 will eat below the 80. Which if I select here 100, that basically means not a single piece of food is allowed to be taken, because I need 100, I have 100, and that's it. That means basically sector 1 will starve to death. But if you select and write, and that's true for every number, whatever material is created anywhere, for example, I can create alloy in both of my sectors with my waste treatment centers. I set to 60. Whenever it reaches 60, for example, you see here, sector 2 is missing 10 pieces. Here, I have a lot of them. Oh no, I also miss here. So whenever they both try to reach the point, and then any surplus will be distributed to every other sector. That's my advice, and why I say keep an eye. Sometimes the game actually bugs where it takes 10 or 20 alloy, transfers to one sector, then picks from this other sector, and basically infinite loop. The way how to cancel it out is just disable electricity. They stop this nonsense cycle. I don't know why the hell it breaks, and then just enable it back and it'll be fine. Keep an eye if you notice something interesting or weird happening, alright? I need to enable it. And disenable it, sorry, I misclicked. So, we're good. Next up, we have point number 12. It's stockpiles for the best logistics. This is simple but really important. When you have only 2 sectors, it's easy. For example, here, before I had my waste treatment facility, I needed to mine my iron. You see, it's literally few blocks away. So whenever ship lands, it's as soon as possible delivered here, and then you can see right next to it is smelter, and then afterwards result is transferred here and extra one. So don't spread them out too much. You will see it's actually at the end, when you have 6 sectors, it will be a nightmare if the logistics is not properly closely together, right? Next, point number 13, there is a drone bay. This is highly advised to get quite soon. My point would be, when you have more than 2 sectors, that's how it's meant. Because once sectors are close by, well, basically next to each other, they will transfer even without any drones. Basically, if there is too much food, or basically here will be too much food, they will deliver by road, and that's it. That's why you have these road connections, of course. Once you have 3 sectors, for example here, it immediately disconnects from the first one. They don't travel through many sectors. That's where the drone bays come in. They will travel, these ones, they will travel through all the sectors and basically distribute by the same logic I just showed you the resources. Where it's over surplus, well, too much, they will deliver where it's missing and basically equal it out, so you have everything in everywhere. That's simple as that. Next, we have, my tip is avoid water. Remember I mentioned how awesome are insect farms. There is crop farm and algae farms behind my big head. They use water, and water can be used from water treatment center. Basically, no, just no. You don't need any stupid ice that is melted into water. You don't need wasted in water treatment center or crop farms. None of them proven to be working as good as anything else, because those two buildings basically burn way too much waste, and you will end up not having enough recyclable material for your materials. So for food, for anything, just my advice: don't do nothing with water. Later on, if you don't trust me, you can test it out. Just delete few insect farms, produce your ice, start mining. You will see how much more trouble it is with no huge benefit. Simple as that. Next up, my advice for every single sector is 2 infirmaries, 1 fire station, 1 DLS center, and 1 alternative life. These are the buildings which I advise to have in every single sector. Quickly explain why 2 infirmaries. Simple as that. You will have at some point, any point, a steel mill, for example, an electronics factory. You see, this is the number, how many people work in there. When on randomly there will be what it's called, the issue, the problem, the accident, those 30 people will be hurt and they will need to be healed. If you check the infirmary, without any upgrades or anything, they don't have such capacity. And you might, anyone who's not treated in time will die, and you will never be able to get them back. You don't want anyone to die. So to limit the number of people you die, whenever you have these factories where are huge capacities, just build 2 of them. Simple as that. And it will, trust me, it will be better than losing your people, because yeah, it's bad. Then 1 fire station, 1 is enough. It's quite big. I don't have it unlocked, just to put out fires. It's beneficial. The DLS center is must have, so you can have those policies, so you can create the waste, so you can process the waste. You got the idea. And the last but not least, 1 really beneficial is alternative life center. Where is it? This one. Why it's so awesome? It's quite small compared to other stability giving houses. Yes, it requires workers. That's kind of downside. But the kicker is when you upgrade it. Of course, you will get all the upgrades. Don't worry. But check how easy it is to check those marks. It requires 400 crew in sector or 800 crew in the sector. I'll show you in this screen. Whenever you have those 7 buildings at the bottom on every sector, you see you have a capacity of 1,100. So you have 300 room space to navigate, to travel, to transfer people. And here I don't have in total so much people, but basically smartest way to do now, as you can see, in one I have 600, another I have 300, so 100 people to transfer from here to here. Then each and every one will check the mark that they have at least 400, and the building will produce 2 stability. Whenever I will unlock and basically unfreeze more people, whenever the goal is to have those 800, which will automatically make the building create 3 stability points in every sector. That's a huge boost with 1 kind of small, tiny building. That's a must-have. All right, too much time spent. I need to rush. This is, basically I rushed a bit too much. But what you need to pay attention as soon as you upgrade this alternative center, so you have, and this is total, this is not workers. So basically you need to provide workers how much you need, and the rest of the gap for 200 and 800 per sector inhabitants, you fill in with just casual non-working class. And that's it. They will never, they just are there for this benefit. This is basically the tip here, to pay attention and fill in every sector with 400, whatever phase you have, And then as soon as possible, when you unfreeze more and more, then fill at least 800 in every single sector. And then you have stability like enough. Next up, we have health center. This is a issue I made. Health center is absolutely good. It treats and can heal up to 100 people injured. One health center is enough for all 6 sectors, but there's a catch. Do not build it before you have at least 4 sectors. Why? Because what this screen doesn't tell you, health center requires 50 people to run. Let me show you in perspective. When you have 2 infirmaries, 1 infirmary requires 5 people. So 10 infirmaries will need as much workers as that one building. If you build 2 of these infirmaries in every sector, it actually adds up to 5 sectors can be filled with 2 of those infirmaries, and only then it will be more beneficial to make this health center. Of course, you need to combine this health center with train station. That's then from every sector, just injured people will be transferred to the health center and then back. It's all good. Why I say still 4+ sectors, because about when you have 4 sectors, this one health center will be already smaller in space. It's basically space saving. Then 2 infirmaries in every single sector. It's. I hope you understand it. If any, just ask me in the comment section. I will explain it if it's needed. Point number 18, extra stockpiles to rebuild. This is really essential. Do not undervalue that. I don't have currently what to show exactly. For example, I have 2 alloy these stockpiles. One of them are actually not needed. Here I have 2 food, should be 2. Oh no, I haven't built it yet. Lol. There should be 1 more for food. But the thing is, whenever you rebuild and reshuffle and work with your this sector, let me show you this one. You see, there is no room for anything. For example, if I want to build this one, I need to demolish something. When you have materials produced out of thin air, their stockpiles will be all the time full, which means if I want to delete any building, whenever you basically remove it, it will give you back the resources. When you don't have where to put it, basically you cannot remove the building. If you cannot remove, you cannot place nothing else. So basically you are stuck in the position where leftover materials are nowhere to place. So having extra stockpile, just place it somewhere as a placeholder, because trust me, the more later in the game you will find yourself in a situation where you need to clear out things and you just need to dump. For example, this one building to remove, it will give back 90 alloy. If you need to delete 2 of them, that's already 2 full stockpiles of alloy just out of here it is. So anyways, yeah, trust me, you need extra stockpiles. You will need it. Save some, build some more than you think you need. Next is for safety net. I advise to build this legislative strengthening center. Why? It gives you nothing if everything is fine, but this is a safety net I would advise to get. Once fully upgraded, the trick is simple. If your people are happy, it does nothing. As soon as your people are unhappy, the stability is below 0. It starts producing naturally 2 stability. It basically, whenever you drop below 0.1 minus, it kicks in and starts producing 2 stability. With full upgrades, you can have up to 4. So your safety net is 4 stability. Whenever it drops, like whatever food something crisis, you have a safety net of 4 stability in every single sector. My thoughts, this building is quite big, takes space, it's absolutely worth it. You just avoid crisis any ways matter, okay? Next up, my advice is 50 plus workers. Here in population management, you open up, you see this green means I have enough workers. As you can see, I need 257. I have approximately 50 more workers than I actually need. Not going into details, but sometimes when there's an accident or whatnot, they are vanished, or for some bad reasons, sometimes they die in accidents or from starvation, whatever. Whenever it's below needed, they immediately start to go in a circle. Basically, they are unhappy. When they are unhappy, they make mistake. When they mistake, there is accidents. When there's accidents, there are lack of people. When there's lack of people, they are overworked. When they're overworked, basically it goes spiral downwards. So having those extra 50, more than you need, or whatever the number, more than 50, it's the best you can do. Don't ever play like you need 300, you transfer in 300 only. That basically begs for the problems. Don't do that. Next point, 21, is bigger battery is better. I'm not quite sure I can demonstrate it here. Yes, I cannot. But what I can switch to the last balance max video. It is exactly in the same spot where I just been, but with time forward and with every unlocked research, what you can do as well, because there's nothing that push you forward. So bigger battery is better, it's simple. Once you have those upgrades, you will see that, but I will just show you, explain it before. The first battery is cool. I like it for one particular reason. You can squeeze it in small spaces, and it's so cool. But once you check how little next battery tier costs more, and remember those electronics, you make them out of thin air. They're nothing. But 700 power, 300 and 100. Basically, this one is 7 times more. It doesn't cost 7 times more. Basically, the bigger it is, it just simply is way easier to open up just a space and place one big. That will be easier than squeezing those little ones and building. It just, yeah. Next, nothing is lost. Remember when I mentioned to build stockpile? Because whenever you need, for example, you had a smaller batteries, you want now to build a bigger one, you need to delete the small ones, which creates not a single resources. 100% of the resources spent building will be refunded. Sounds good, sounds perfect. You have already separate stockpile for it, but it really causes us problems. At the first, you lose nothing. It's a great thing. Here I am to put emphasis how big of a problem it is. Because a little bit later on, I'll show there will be a specific tip, but there are resources that you can get rid of. For example, if you store hydrogen or the same ice, there is no button where it says throw out of this in the space. Once you have it on board, you have to deal with this. So nothing is lost. In the middle of the game up to the end of the game will cause you more trouble and will be a curse, not a blessing. Keep that in mind and pay attention which resource you have. That would be my advice. Nothing is lost. Miners and cargo are automated. These are smaller tips. The main first 7 are the most important. Miners and cargo are automated. I'll show you what it means. It means if I stay right here, this cloud is bad cloud. As you can see, if you move through it, your ships, small ones, the miners, cargo and science, will be destroyed. Simple as that. Just with full upgrade and everything, they will still be destroyed. If this carbon is not prohibited, let me show you. automatically this little dumb nut is going to mine it, even if it pulls it through this death cloud, it will die. So the point here is where this ship can be manually transferred here and then afterwards basically avoid the cloud. These automated things are dumb, so keep that in mind. It's really important not to lose ships in such manner. So whenever your station is positioned, disallow to basically engage with these materials. And as you can see, it says, okay, I'm going back, not going on a suicide mission. Anyways, why I don't want your ships to be lost? Because level up your ships. For example, here I have, you see, here, science ship tier 3, tier 2. It is faster, science can collect per cycle. It basically works better. You see, normally, here, where it is, here, 30 science per cycle, upgraded version 45. And for science ships, I think it's only tier 1 or tier 3, well, tier 1 or tier 2, but if you check the fleet, I have these mining ships tier 3. So the mining ships and cargo ships can upgrade more, they can carry more, they can process more. It's really good. And once you have that ship upgraded, you don't want it to be lost. So it goes together with the previous point. Moving on, we have, remember I mentioned the points. At one moment you will realize that this hull integrity repair, which all the time require you to have alloy, is really a blessing, because that's how you can dump surplus this alloy. You will be happy that you can eat it up, because everything you build, whenever you want to destroy it, it produces extra alloy. None of the buildings, when you need to build them, uses polymer. Whenever polymer is built or created or gathered too much, and you have built every single solar panel, there is nowhere to place it. Basically, you need to destroy your ship, because building new ship requires it. You don't want to destroy because it's upgraded already. So you are left with... So, what to do? Probes are your way out. I will just demonstrate how you can avoid cloud here, extra there, right? With non-automated ship. Take a probe, launch prober. You don't need to target it anywhere, just launch it. Why? Because that probe, whenever it's launched, where's my probe building? Here, new probe is built with 3 polymers. Yes, it's only 3, but this is the only reasonable way to dump polymer. And while this is really important, there are upgrades in probe launcher that decreases the polymer cost. Never take it. Never take it. Trust me, this is the only way how to get rid of polymer. So that upgrade is actually a downgrade, and absolutely don't ever, never take it. You see, I have all the upgrades, not that one. All right, next up we have, didn't correct my mistake, Icey. Yes, I say Icey. Icey and Hydro. As you can see, I have 0. I never had them, I will never have them, I will never gather, because they are pointless. You don't need that much electricity when you have all the solar panels. Simple as that, even with all the 6 sectors open. And ice, the only thing you can produce from ice is water. There was a point, avoid water. Just skip them. Don't ever... Only thing when and how you can use hydrogen and ice is whenever you want to upgrade your mining ship, you select them to mine everything. I have done it. Don't collect it with cargo ship. Don't bring that shit on your board. Leave it out in the space. But your miners will fully upgrade themselves. That's it. That's why, yeah, these two materials in this game is absolutely pointless. Don't gather them. Point number 27. At this moment, where everything so far is done, try specialization. This I'm still basically just showing how everything can be done so far with only 2 sectors. That's only what you need. But when you have 3 and more, my advice would be to start checking out those specializations. Industry, space, food, people, it's how it's called, public or something, anyways, where people live. And there's one more, waste treatment facilities, and all those 5 specializations. I have a separate video. I will put it in the description, everything about specialization. At this moment you might want to start see and tinkle around with the game and see what's there. Not with the 2 sectors, that's not the time to do it. At this moment, my advice would be also to try mushrooms. Remember how I already twice put an emphasis to avoid crop farm and avoid algae farm, but I said nothing about the mushroom wall. Downside is it needs to be placed next to the top or bottom wall, so you see it's already going against my other advices. But once you combine it with waste treatment specialization, it's more of the mid-end game procedures and fun and everything. They produce quite better food than the insect farm, but it requires waste. You need enough for waste production. You need enough people, you need enough open wall at the top of the sectors. It's not something you want to do early on, because I'm still in chapter 2 and with all the upgrades, I'm still not engaging and not building. Again, when you open 3rd, 4th sector and you want to make one of them waste treatment speciality, then introduce some mushroom walls. Otherwise, be careful, okay? Last 2 points. Unfreeze everyone. Remember when I mentioned policies? Working hours, wouldn't advise to select anything else. One of them uses too much people. You need too much workforce. That causes a problem. When you put in less, the work, for example, hull integrity takes a hit. It suffers. It produces less. You don't want that. Normal is normal. It's fine. Just death body recycling, absolutely stupid. Infirmaries, absolutely stupid. Population starving, absolutely stupid. Pointless things in the game. Cryopod awakening. Hear me out. It is important. Read carefully. Cryonic pods containing workers are opened first. So, yes, in cryopods, if in that cryopod is worker or non-worker, they are predetermined. It's not like you pick up pods, enable this, and they will come out every single one worker. No, they are a ratio. There are a ratio, and the only thing this stupid awakening does is open first workers. It basically is so little. Basically, if you made a lot of mistakes and all your workers are dying out and you need workers super, then it might be a sense to enable it. Otherwise, unfreeze everyone. Why? Because remember, you create all the materials out of thin air, or more specifically from waste. Waste is coming, you guessed right, from these cell housings. From these cell housings to produce waste, you need people. So basically, also non-working people are essential for this sustainable style, because they produce waste. From waste you produce everything else, and you make the game easy. So my advice, just unfreeze everyone. That's it. If you follow all the previous steps, food is not a problem. As you can see, balance is not the problem, science is not the problem, materials are not the problem, electricity is not the problem. Nothing is the problem when you follow all these steps. So Yes, all those whiny little, this game needs balance. I read in Steam reviews negative how people are whining about, why are you whining if you haven't found a way and figure this out. Basically, it's like you want to learn a ride a bicycle, and you start right away riding a bicycle without handlebars. And when you fall over, you're like, bikes are stupid. No, 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 right? Just, I laughed when I read. Okay, I'm a little bit sidetracked. There's one more tip, last trick, but it might come in handy. Whenever you move your station, your whole ship, for example, here, as you can see, it requires 3.6 cycles. There will be no power produced, so it will live on batteries. You can check the battery capacity when you mouse over on every sector. I have 2 sectors. One can live without any power for 9.1 cycles. It basically never will have a problem. But this one has only 5.4. So power travel trick is, it's kind of logical, but I realize it's too late. What you can do, you see, the sector 2 can live without power for only 5.4 cycles. If you open your sector and see which of these buildings are non-essential, for example, probe launcher, I don't need for the travel. Colonization center, I don't need for the time being, I'm traveling around. Cryonics center, I don't have any cryonics pod, I just disabled. And as soon as you disable Let's Go Nuts, for example, for a time being, I can live without stockpile where the polymer is stockpiled, or cryopods for that matter. Everything else that is essential is still working and no impact. Now let's take a look. Oh wow, now this sector, the same sector without any battery, anything else, can travel 5.9 cycles without any power and will be fine. So this is a small trick I realized too late, where it's usually when you can't travel that far, you think about, oh, I need to build more batteries. Yeah, just disable unnecessary buildings. Forgot this one. Yeah, I can go up to 6.1. So anyways, this is my tricks, this is my trips. Everything, video is too long, I shut up. It's shorter than my first try, so already good. And once again, I don't want to be a mean guy that laughs, and I don't laugh about other people's failures, but when someone plays a game, the only way they know how to, or do something absolutely badly, or enable wrong policies, or build wrong buildings, or do everything not smart, and at the end they die, or the stability is lost, or something, and instead of improving and trying better, they go straight away in Steam. I checked, there are people who are played 4 or 9 hours. That's nothing. So basically it means they went through the beginning in one way, they failed miserably, and they come back and like, this game needs a balance. No, this game is, with proper care, it is the easiest of the easiest game. It's far from Frostpunk. That was the punishing. That was really the game where this is way more, and all the time the frost is coming. Here, you can literally sit, relax, research, upgrade, mine, do everything you want in every chapter. Not going to spoil anything with any markers or anything, but no, come on, guys. I don't want developers to jump in and start messing around with these beautifully built systems that are, once you manage them, it's easy, just because someone couldn't do it. Done. Okay, thank you guys for watching. If you have any questions, I think I have covered main things from the basics up to the small little things that will make your journey easy. If you have any questions, because this is the ultimate guide, if you've seen this, you are the master of space jumping and the IXION. You will be happy how amazing and awesome the journey, the story, the not going to tell you what's going there, but there will be things happening, trust me. Alright guys, we'll meet in another video, shall we? I'm done with this game. This game is finished and ultimate guide is for you. Alright, cheers.